Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Helm to Tower podcast. Another week of Destiny 2 has passed, and we're going to talk about everything that happened. It was, we're on the on-ramp to the final shape, more or less, and then we're trucking. We're almost like by the time this episode comes out, we'll practically only be a month away.
Stop it!
So, I know, right? Because it'll basically, because it's gonna be May. It's gonna be May this week, so it's gonna be. So we're pretty much there. But we had some stuff drop this week. We had some trailers, some fun trailers. That's when it's like getting real because they start doing the like. Here's this trailer for like
throwing everything.
Yeah, and they had like a trailer. They had like a trailer kind of showing off the destination more, and then there was a bunch of like smaller trailers, like individual trailers for all the new enemies. So I did some sleuthing to see if I found anything in there. So I'll talk about that stuff. We had a TWAB this week as well that like I'd argue is like one of the biggest TWABs we've had in like a good while, because like this is like I think some of the stuff in this TWAB that was announced for like changes are coming to final shape are like legitimately as big of changes as things like infinite primary ammo coming to the game, and like
maybe more, honestly.
In some ways more, because it's like straight up just full on progression and power leveling like is drastically changing come the final shape. So it's all pretty exciting stuff. Before we get into that though, I just want to get the vibe check of what if y'all been both been playing Destiny this week. What did you get into this week? I know we did Whisper Legend this week. That's right. My brain is mush as it comes to on the weekend some days. But yeah, we do. I know us as a group, we did Whisper Legend. That was pretty fun. We got all the fun traits and the ships, and the little new upgraded ships. That was fun, right?
Yeah.
I had a good time with that.
It was very chill, like compared to like what it used to be,
Yes. Yeah. I remember running Whisper Legend back in the day, and it was so stressful.
Yeah. Definitely. Like I think just the sandbox in general just makes it a lot easier these days. So yeah. But yeah, that was fun. How is the shiny chase or the onslaught grinding going? How's it going out there?
Yeah, Cam, how's it going? I don't want to talk about me.
Yeah, it's going all right, actually. I got a pretty good hammerhead that I'm excited about. It's got like Envious Assassin on it, which I don't have like the the full like extended mag roll that you can get with Envious Assassin, where you can get the mag like over like 200, which is fucking crazy. But I did get, I have like Envious Assassin on it where it basically rolls to where it's like 160 shots in the mag if I like max that out, which ain't nothing, because that thing kind of hits pretty hard already, especially on like a machine gun burn week. Oh my God.
Yeah, definitely felt that playing some Onslaught this week and had machine gun as like one of the surges. Yeah, machine guns.
I've just been keeping the hammerhead equipped. Yeah. It's been so much fun. It's just good to have back. I'm very excited that I got like a really like fun and good roll of a shiny hammerhead, because that's like one of the things that I like really wanted going into the light. So now I just need to figure out what else I need to roll and then just sit through and just fucking play as much of this shit as I can, I guess. But
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, where like I admittedly did not play a lot like throughout the week just because of other stuff going on. But the last few days this weekend, I got a lot of playtime in, because that's usually where the Destiny playing happens these days in my life. So like I definitely had a lot more luck getting some shinies this past weekend, in terms of like, and I say luck as in like, I was actually playing Onslaught and like one dropped while I was playing Onslaught.
Yes.
Instead of me having to get hundreds of trophies dump into this chest, and then I suddenly start getting them. So I actually got I did get another shiny Edge Transit, which I was stoked about. Nice. It has, let me just pull up the one I got. It has field prep, auto loading, and explosive light, and also destabilizing rounds. So I was not the envious roll, but I was still pretty stoked about that.
Explosive light, it's like just a good fucking workhorse DPS grenade launcher.
Yeah, that's just I can burst with that real fast. The other one I shared in our Discord, I was pretty happy about, was the Midnight Coup. dropped. I got it with shoot to loot, explosive payload, and also rampage and desperate measures. That's
a great roll.
Yeah, I was really stoked to get that one. And yeah, using that. I've mainly been doing the explosive payload rampage combo, and that's quite fun on that hand cannon. Still a really good feeling hand cannon. So I mean, it was just those two, but like considering I like was just like playing and you know, one of them was one of like I got to the 50th round, and one of the 50th round drops was like a shiny, which was nice. And then the other one was just like I was just playing, and because of, you know, we had the patch this week that increased drops, it was just like a rant. Like I was just kind of playing at a round completed, and it just kind of dropped there, and I was like, oh, sick. You know, so I was like actually just getting them as drops, you know, after, you know, what are we in, like, you know, the second, third week of Into the Light was like finally nice to actually see them dropping in the wild rather than having to dump a bunch of trophies.
Yeah.
So
additionally, as far as my week goes, the clock continues. I still do not have Collective Obligation or Buried Bloodline after trying again this week to get them.
Yeah.
The hunt continues regrettably.
Yeah, I'm still kind of hunting a Indebted Kindness as well, because I did farm a bunch of the first encounter today and used Fire Team Finder kind of for the first time, really.
Oh, neat. Okay.
So I kind of just joined on people that were making farming groups and checkpoints and had checkpoints for the first encounter. I was just doing that. So I did for like 3-4 hours almost.
Sure.
Got like, I think like 4 or 5 drops of the sidearm. You know, pretty much all of them were crap, but I did get a lead from gold Adagio roll, which is apparently good.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
I guess.
Yeah.
Because I got it like a dim in dim and has like thumbs up on all 4 of on the barrels, mags, and perks. So I was like, okay, apparently according to this, it's good. So I'll keep it and try it. It's definitely, I mean, again, the one I had before was Enlightened Action Surrounded, and I was like, whatever, kind of a whatever on it. So this one, I guess, will be better. I don't know. I have not used it yet, but like
that's like the only weapon that I actually don't mind attrition orbs on, because a lot of the times, especially like if I'm using it in Onslaught, like I am just using it to like help fucking plink down a lot of the bigger dudes, and so if it just drops a couple of orbs while I'm just doing what I'd normally do, that's not too bad. But
that's
definitely not something that I'm looking for, you know.
That's fair. That's fair. I still would really like a volt shot roll, but it's just
that's what I'm looking for too.
It just never drops. I've just never. I don't think I've literally ever, and all the time that dungeon has been out, and all the runs we've done together, and even just like the farming I did today, I've not gotten a single just one with literally just volt shot on it. Period.
That. Yep.
So it's just like, okay, like whatever. I guess I'll just keep trying to get it. So that'll continue at some point. What about you, Ari? Tell us. I know you're suffering in the recluse chase still.
My dark passenger has left me. It's finally over. Yeah. Everyone air horn it up for your girl because it's over. I did get my shiny recluse. I got it like 1 o'clock in the morning too. Like it was truly, you know, it was kind of similar, Mike. Like we played on, it was like Tuesday, whatever, a day that we did our Legend Whisper run, and we also did Warlord's Ruin. And I kind of didn't play for a little bit. I think it was Friday night. I was like, all right, I'm getting in the trenches tonight, baby. Let's go. And on like 1 a.m. I was playing on my Titan, which tells you how desperate I was. Although I do want to come in here, everyone, just like as a permalock, let everyone know Strand Titan's pretty good. I don't know if you guys have heard this.
But, I have heard this. Yeah. I just choose not to listen.
Yeah, which is fair. As a big Glaive fan, you know, I got in there, got my pointy stick going, and it was very fun. So maybe I'll play more of that. Who knows? I also played Hunter this week. I don't know what's happening. Don't talk to me about this.
Yeah, are you good? The shiny hunt has broken you.
It really, I am like, it's funny because
it's awoken something in you.
Yeah, I mean, I like shiny things. And I don't know if it's
yeah.
just like the estrogen pumping through me now that has changed everything. I maybe shouldn't go back to Pokemon. Like maybe I should stay away.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't, honestly.
Because I didn't give a shit before, and
we gotta pull you off. Yeah, we gotta pull you off the ledge here. It sounds like.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, like I was doing the other characters for the, like, you know, the extra moments of triumph, not moments of triumph, but like, you know, weekly triumphs that you can do to get like extra drops. I will say, like you mentioned it earlier, Mike, but like that, you know, incremental, you get a chance to get an extra drop per wave is excellent. Because it doesn't, I thought like when they put in the tweet and the patch notes about it, I thought it was like, you'll get maybe one drop. And if you don't get it by wave 50, you'll get it at wave 50. But no, it's like every single wave, there's an extra chance for a drop. So, you know, sometimes you'll just, you know, fight a tormentor and it's like, boom, I got a mountaintop or I got a midnight Q or something. And it's very great.
Yeah, like on paper, it didn't sound like it was going to make as big of a difference as it did, but it feels
huge.
So much more rewarding.
Yeah, definitely noticeable.
You get like 4 or 5 extra rolls sometimes per run.
It's great. Yeah, it makes me want to get in and run 50s so much more. Yeah,
and I have been, and it's been really fun. I did get a lot of shinies along the way, which was kind of infuriating, but also like, okay, you know, I don't have to worry about this. You know, if I wanted a shiny mountaintop, which I don't really like, I don't super care, but I have one now. So it's like, I have
Great.
that dropped back to back from the fucking chest with all the things I got while I was hunting recluse. And, you know, there were trash rolls. I'm not even going to show them, but the recluse
shiny.
They're shiny, exactly. The recluse I ended up getting was Threat Detector Surrounded, which I think is one of the better rolls on it.
Yeah, that's not bad. Absolutely.
And I have like a very good, I would call it a 5 out of 5 roll of what I would have wanted, which was Repulsor Brace, Desperate Measures, which I do think is maybe the best combo on there. You know, Repulsor Brace Frenzy is very good as well for consistency, but that like just getting a punch in every now and again, and now you have Desperate Measures times 3 is very, very fun. But yeah, I've played a lot of Onslaught this week. Across
Same.
3 characters, I mean, like probably like what, maybe 600 waves of Onslaught this week.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess they got me. Fuck.
Yeah.
It's all over. It's Joker for me.
We're still going. Yeah. We still got one more week of weapons too. The last 2.
Yeah.
We'll get this week with Blast Furnace
and Luna's
Howl. Yeah. Definitely gonna be chasing a good Blast Furnace. Luna's Howl. I'm kind of like more whatever on. I know you can get like a heal clip roll, which is interesting of some kind.
Heal clip, incandescent. You know.
Yeah. So
I'm curious how it feels because it's like a 140 with precision frame. So
right. So that'll be good. I definitely was still chasing a couple things. Like I've gotten some decent hammerheads, but I wouldn't mind a shiny hammerhead. I'm not like super particular on the perks because it has like a lot of really good perks.
Yeah, there's like almost no bad rolls on that fucking thing.
Yeah,
I did get the Rampage Killing Tally drop, which
nice.
I have one as well. So I was curious if that was the one to go for. It was really good because like I have Rewind Rounds Onslaught, which I got pretty early, which I like a lot.
Great. Yeah,
I like that one. That one's a lot of fun. Then I got a Rampage Killing Tally. Then I also got one. I got a Destabilizing Onslaught as well, which I thought would just be kind of fun to just try out.
Yeah.
Because explosives and in your gun just shoots faster as things explode. So that sounds pretty fun.
That is fun.
So yeah, definitely gonna mess around with those, but I'll see if I can get a shiny of that. But that's probably like once I get that shiny, I think I might be like good on them, and then whatever I get after this, I'll get, and I'll be like, it'll be like cool, yeah, because like. You know, there's some ones I don't have like I don't really have any shiny mountaintops, but like I don't see myself as good as it seems. Like as mountaintop does seem pretty decent. Like I don't know, I've just not really pulled it out. I've not been like had the urge to be like because I already have.
I've been using it. It's very fun.
Yeah. So but yeah, I just like it seems good, but I just like, don't have the need of like I think I'm going to be using it so much that I want a shiny of it, I guess. Where like I feel like some of these other ones I feel like I might use a little bit more like Hammerhead or Blast Furnace for next week. So I might try and see if I get a decent one of those, but I feel I'm feeling pretty good about the now that I've gotten kind of the shinies that I've wanted largely, which was just like an Edge Transit and a Midnight Coup that are like pretty decent as they are. So feeling better about that stuff. Although it was like it took a while to get for sure, but I'm still enjoying Onslaught. There's an interesting tweet. I think this will still be a conversation we've kind of already had, me and Ari at least, of like, hey, I kind of hope that like they just don't leave Onslaught as it is forever. Like I kind of do hope they add more stuff to it. Like it's just like it does become like maybe like a pillar of things they update when it comes to like the Vanguard and Vanguard Ops playlists and stuff, because we know it's going into there once it's once Final Shape releases. Because I do like it, but I definitely am starting to also feel like okay, yeah, I've played a lot of Vostok and Midtown, and like that's still a good time, and I like getting the weapons, but I feel like
Boy, would a few more maps be really fucking great, huh?
Yeah. A few more maps would be pretty nice.
You don't want to go to Moth Yards? Sure. You're not like Moth Yards levels of death.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Actually,
yeah. You know what? Don't really need that at all.
There's really only 2 maps.
It's really
concerned.
Yeah. It's really just those 2. I don't even know what you're talking about with Moth Yards.
Sure,
to be honest.
sure, yeah. Where is the Moth Yards? Actually, I don't know.
I have no idea.
Who knows? Nobody knows for sure.
But that's I'm liking Onslaught, but I think I will, like, as long as it's not like too much of a pain to get some of the remaining stuff I want. I feel like I can finally.
I don't think it will be, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like I can kind of just be like, oh yeah, I got the stuff I want, and then we'll jump into 0 hour in the coming weeks, and then I can maybe like go play some other things for just like a little bit before
play Paper Mario.
Yeah, play Paper Mario. Yeah.
Hell yeah!
Highly
recommend everyone.
Before before June comes, and this game definitely takes over my life for the whole summer, more or less, probably. But besides that, we had some trailers this week in terms of news about the Final Shape. We got like what is it, like kind of Discover the Pale Heart kind of trailer. Yeah. And it's more, it was kind of, they've done this with a lot of expansions, right? Where we kind of have this trailer where it's like, here's like a bunch of cool shots of the destination. Maybe you get like a little bit of like the story vibe to an extent. Yeah. So that was definitely it's usually always kind of like the first big, post camp or expansion reveal type trailer. I feel like we always get. As always, Bungie makes really good fucking trailers. It's great trailer.
Yeah. Incredible work there.
It's a really, really fucking good trailer.
Great trailer. I sleuthed out some things I'll talk about here. And then but the whole thing of it is, you see a bunch of cool shots of the Pale Heart again, and Cade is kind of monologuing over it the whole time. So if you haven't watched it, I would go watch it. But first, first few seconds here, we see, so I have timestamps here, 17 seconds. We get a good Guardian lineup showing them all kind of together, standing as Guardians do. Here you can see a new sniper rifle. I think this was like with that weapon that, in the preview gameplay, you could see like shots of like the weapon UI and stuff, and the armor UI, the character menu or whatever, and you could see like an energy weapon in that slot, and I couldn't tell what it was. I think it was a sniper. You see a character holding it. I don't really know much more than that. The shotgun hand cannon from previous trailers, also in there as well. So like a bunch of stuff we have kind of seen in terms of weapons. There wasn't really too much other new things. 21 seconds, we see this like kind of slicing effect happening, which has been a lot of the stuff that has like been in the marketing for Final Shape, because it's the whole thing the Witness does in that kind of opening scene.
Raid, I'm telling you.
Yeah, like it feels like there's definitely more to it there. Like like pretty much whenever there's like a bunch of those happening throughout the trailer, that's like kind of cutting to different shots. And it's really cool effect. And even at the end of the trailer, not jumping ahead a little bit, but the Witness like yells really loud, and it's like enough, and then cuts out Cade's monologue, and it cuts to them, and you just see like shit ton of like the cuts and slices going crazy around him as he he kind of is getting tired of us, basically. It kind of seems like but you see that effect, so I definitely, like you said, Ari, I think there's like some, if it's in the raid, or maybe there's like other moments happening where we're actually seeing these effects happening to the world potentially, like as we're playing. I think that'd be really fucking cool if like that kind of stuff pops off at some point.
Fingers crossed.
Again, like a little bit after that, it's like kind of going through these slicing effects. The 31 seconds, Guardians are running. It looks like they're in this kind of like underground, like woods forest area. It looks like the Titan kind of arcology, like that big plant area that's on Titan. But they're like running in it upside down. it's like they're all upside down, like running on the ceiling.
Pretty sick.
And I was like, this might be like a trailer effect, but like if we're actually doing the game, that's like cool as fuck, but also like probably disorienting as hell. So I think it's probably just like a cool like for the effects of the trailer or whatever, because they do a lot of that stuff in their trailers and things like that. So it's still a cool looking environment too. It's just like really like deep foresty, spooky forest kind of vibes that I feel like you haven't seen too much of that.
Kind of reminds me of where we found the Shard of the Traveler in the Red War campaign.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that too in there for sure. Jumping up ahead at 46 seconds, we briefly see a Garden use the Aegis from Vault of Glass in front of this ogre. Yeah. In front of this ogre that is like new. It's like a different style of ogre where it has like armor on its face and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't even catch that. You're so right.
But there's totally like it's like a warlock has the Aegis from Vault of Glass in their hands, and they just like pop the shield and Guardians in there. So that's pretty interesting. That stuff
cleanse the darkness.
We're cleansing each other in there, and it'd be cool. It would be cool if like different campaign missions have us using like different like raid artifacts for like encounters and stuff. Yeah, like we get like the lasers and stuff from what is it? Like in WoW, basically. Like we have different like the different ones in different places, and we're using them. That'd be cool. So we see 56 again. We see another one of the slicing effects, but it's done like in this like tower kind of outcropping, and when it's happening, you see Cade standing there. But then when it does this effect, it goes to our Guardian staying in the same spot, and like Cade's not there. So I was curious, like again, because we're getting a lot of the Cade kind of monologuing through this whole trailer, and it seems like I'm curious if this is like is this like us meeting this whole monologue just from when we meet Cade, or is this like messages left from Cade, or because like a lot of how Cade speaks in the trailer, right, is like him kind of discovering himself, that he's like, oh, I'm in the Traveler, like it seems like that's where I've been this time, and like it seems like he's relatively new in this zone as well, potentially. At least that's like the vibe it gave me a little bit. Like I don't think he's been there that long. Like he's not like he died in Forsaken and has been in there for like 4 years or something like that, or years or whatever. It seems like it could be more recent.
He talks about how like there's a poison spreading here, and how the light is everywhere and he feels it inside him all the time. And that's how he figured out he's in the Traveler. So maybe, I mean, he's been here longer than we have. So
yeah,
right. Yeah, it's definitely like he's been there for a little bit. But honestly, like another thing they kind of talk about, he's monologuing about in that, and this is like one theory I have potentially is that he's talking about it, and I think they talked about it a little bit when they first revealed it. Was like a lot of the inside of the Traveler is like kind of formed by like memories that from us and from like the Witness and like his. And they're like, crazy amalgamations of darkness and stuff. But then, we come in and we're landing in the D1 tower, and then there's a lot more like Guardian archaeology and whatever. So I'm what I'm thinking is going to happen is, the Crow at the end of Season of Wish went in and is now like getting to the other side of it. So I'm almost curious if it's like he kind of manifests Cade in some weird way by doing that, like because Cade is in his memories and like was a big part of his story arc. So I'm wondering if like Crow comes in and all of a sudden Cade is just like there, and they and that's like their moment when they meet is like they just come to the Traveler, and that's gonna be like an early moment
also
in the campaign.
Know
really cool
that there was a like lore entry this season that basically implied that I forget what specifically it was, but Crow was essentially like talking about something to what he thought was Mara, but as Mara was leaving, basically like after hearing like an I wish phrase, said like something like, oh, something mine or something. I don't remember the exact specifics. I had to pull that up, but I would not be surprised if the reason that we can like that Kate is here at all is entirely because of wish magic bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I think that would be super interesting.
Yeah. A lot.
Oh yeah,
go ahead.
I think a big part of the story in the moment is like obviously like the reconciliation of the Vanguard, but also like the passing of the torch. Like I do think this is where Crow kind of gets all of his biggest moments is going to be in this campaign. Because I mean, he hasn't really been in the other campaigns. He's been a big seasonal character.
Yeah.
So this could be the moment that he steps up, and Cade passes on the Ace of Spades, so to speak.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be real cool.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a passing on of like, you know, this story arc to the next would be cool to like have that kind of moment for sure. Yeah, again, I'll jump ahead here because I think like a couple times I brought up like what Kate was talking about. So at 1 minute 30 seconds, we see shots of Savathun, Mithrax, and Kydal inside the Traveler.
Yeah,
I think that was sick as hell because we didn't really know what their involvement in this at all would have been, right? Like there was we had not seen them at all leading up to this, like be involved in this big fight, or we didn't know where they'd be in this fight. So to see them actually inside the Traveler is like really interesting, and like I think can have its own weird implications. And like there's also just like some really weird things going on in the trailer in general, because there's like a scene. I think it's in this trailer, or it might have been in the game, one of the trailer before this, but like we are fighting Loose and Hive in one of those trailers. Like you can see us like, and there's like a distinct shot in my mind of like the prismatic hunter throwing that solar ice grenade like on a wall, and it spikes out, and a bunch of the Loose and Hive like run into it and are getting blown up, and that as we're fighting them. So like I'm curious what that then means about like what Savathun is doing in there, or like I'm curious because like I know like, you know, going again like you said about wish magic-y stuff, like her ploy was us getting here, so I'm wondering if her shit is like wrapped up, some shit she's pulling is wrapped up into like getting us into the Traveler, also like gets her in so she can do something and make a play or whatever. Like I'm very curious what she's doing there.
My kind of read on it, and like it could just be like a I don't like believe type thing, but like I am like I kind of saw that personally as a like I know that like inside of the Traveler is going to like react to our memories and our experiences, so I wonder if the three of them are like capital R real. Like I wonder if they're just like figments that show up. If they are there, that's pretty tight too. Again, we're not gonna know for like a month. So.
Yeah, definitely be one of those things where once we're in the campaign, I could definitely see it going that way too, for sure. Where it's just like because we saw like the shot of like Mithrax is in like an icy like Europa area, and then Kydal's like I don't even know, she's in like some weird deserty like evil like dark looking area. So like they could just be like manifestations of our memories, and they are like you know, maybe it could be like a gameplay thing, like maybe we're in like it's a campaign mission, and then we're realizing like, oh yeah, we're manifesting this stuff, like let's use it to our advantage, and then summon our allies and our buddies, and then we like are like essentially doing stuff to like summon Mithrax into a fight with us or something. Like that'd be pretty cool too as well.
That's like my ideal hope, right? Like we want the Avengers Assemble moment in this game, like for sure, especially like a final mission where like Mithrax is there, and then Saint drops a bubble, and then Zavala drops a bubble for some reason.
You need two bubbles.
Double bubble. Why not?
For the double bubble, double trouble, you know what I'm saying? I like what you're saying, Cam. Like, I mean, both of you, like the caveat of like, hey, this might all just not be real, is like what I'm holding on to in the back of my head. But yeah, I mean, boy, it would be fucking cool if like everybody was here. I do think that there is a possibility that maybe only Guardians can enter the Traveler. There could be some kind of narrative thing because of that. But I don't know. We'll We'll have to wait and see.
And I guess like that wouldn't stop Savathun technically then.
It wouldn't.
So
Yeah, it
I
wasn't.
don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun to think about though.
It's
very fun to think about.
Very interesting what that could mean if like they actually are like all the races are together inside the Traveler, and like do they have like somehow access or privilege now to these powers potentially now in the future because of this or something like that. Like that could be wild implications. But it could, again, like you said, it could just be like some kind of like we're using the power of our memories to bring everyone together, and then it's
or to fight us, right? Like
Yeah.
the witness could be using our memories against us, and we have to fight Keitel and Savathun and Mithrax. I think that's also really a strong possibility, but also they put it in this trailer, so they want us to think about it.
Yeah,
totally.
Right,
and
absolutely.
for sure.
It feels like the final shape is like all your dreams come true, the expansion type deal. So like my hope is that they put it here so that way we would, know and hope that they do show up and are with us.
Yeah. And like that seems to be the vibe they're kind of going for with the whole lead up to this thing in general. I don't know if y'all have looked into what is inside the collector's edition at all very much.
A little bit.
But one of the more like emotionally impactful things that they put in there is this little autograph book that like in universe Ido went around to like literally all of our allies, and they basically just like wrote words of encouragement to like you as the Guardian going into the Traveler to like end this whole thing. Cool. And like there's like signatures from like just like little like well wishes and signatures from like things ranging from like weird like offshoot like lore characters or like famous fucking like sparrow racers.
Tanix signed it, didn't he?
Oh, he did.
It's like I live, bitch.
But there's like a message from like Mithrax. There's like a message. Tanix is actually the final shape. It's fucking great.
The witness metamorphosized into Tanix.
He slices
it. It was me the whole time.
I'm slicing myself into the ultimate form, and he just uses his slice powers
so funny.
to reform himself into a big shank Tanix.
But they did like a bunch of it's really heartfelt, and like I definitely like choked up a little bit just like flipping through it.
I would too.
Yeah, that's cool.
There's like drawings of like good luck come back that were done by like actual developers' kids that are like shown as like the drawings and like well wishes from the kids of the lost city to you, the Guardian, or the last
that's
city.
Cool.
It's really good. If you get a chance, if you have it, definitely look through it. If you get a chance to like just look at like some scans of it online, it's super worth it. It's like all really, really good. Just great character writing, incredible stuff. So, but like that's definitely something they're like wanting people to think about is like the like, oh, you could be like alone in the moment that you're going in there, but you're not like capital A alone, and that's like what's pushing you forward. And it's really, really cool that seems to be like the whole point of all of this so far.
Yeah, everybody comes together.
Mm-hmm.
So then the last thing to point out for is at the very end of the trailer, they showed some kind of like new tormentor of some kind. I'm thinking it's just kind of like a maybe like a mission, like a campaign boss or something like that. What I would guess, or some kind of boss who may be fighting like the striker or something. Because it's like different. It's like white. It's kind of like more like whitish, and it has like a weird like the scion kind of pointy head helmet looking going on, and it does some kind of like animation where like puts its arm up and is like summoning stuff, and it's kind of like got like a Nezaraki vibe to it them.
Yeah.
But definitely just like clearly like a noticeably visually different tormentor than we usually face on the battlefield. So that was kind of cool, I thought. But yeah, good trailer, a bunch of like cool, very obviously the Pale Heart looks like a really cool destination. Just visually, got like the whole spread of like we start in the tower and it's all green and lush, and then it gets like warped, and you can kind of like see it getting more and more warped, and then you see all like the freaky darkness stuff with crazy hand, the MC Escher paintings and all kinds of crap.
Yeah.
I like the Minecraft. I like the Minecraft platforming area. It's just like the big cubes that you're like jumping across, and it's just like Minecraft. I don't know. I love it.
Yeah, it looks like a TikTok Reddit storytime video. It's great.
Yeah.
We haven't like gotten a lush destination in a long time, because like Savathun's throne world was like
It's like a gross swamp. Yeah,
like
it was great.
Half of it was like it was lush in that it was disgusting, right?
Yeah, like the last thing was kind of like the EDZ, right? Like that was kind of it. Like kind of D2 year one, where it's like because we got like Forsaken didn't really have that in its destinations. I guess Dreaming City has like some
There's parts of the Dreaming City that are kind of lush.
Yeah, but it's more like kind of like rocky, and mist like cathedral-y. Like I kind of think of that stuff more. But yeah, not a lot of other destinations have that kind of vibe. That's cool. But yeah, that was kind of like that main trailer. Then they put out a bunch of these kind of like little like more like social, like they're like 20-second, little trailers for each of the enemy types. So I kind of pulled a couple things from that. It was just kind of interesting to see, like, we see a lot of the abilities that the dread can do, but mainly what are like the first two, which are the subjugators. That's what they call it. And like now they have like names for like the individual ones. I don't remember what they all are, but they have like the stasis one and the strand one.
The strand one is like the Weaver.
Yeah. And like
that's the Scion.
Yeah, because like the subjugators like have names, and like the Scions would have names. But like you see a lot of like the abilities those guys have now, and they're pretty interesting because like you can see like the stasis one like does like a move where they like slam their staff down and they do like a split. It's like a burst shot of stasis, and it makes like a bunch of those crystals like jut out of the ground. And it's pretty cool looking. They can throw their own like dusk field grenades, because you see one like get thrown out and grab them, and then like the strand one like can like shoot out blasts. And it looks like they have they kind of have like their own super moment where like they like you see it in the trailer like pop super basically, and it shoots this like mega huge like lash out, and if it hits you, you get like suspended up. But I noticed like when they do that, and then they kind of show it a little clearly in that trailer where like they do it, and then it hits a guardian, and they're all strung up, and they come out of like the string, and you see the subjugator like do like the Rulk thing when Rulk's like enraged and can take damage, where he gets like they get like the frilly like spikes, and they get all yellowy and sparky like that you can damage them. So I'm curious if that's going to be like a similar like Rulk mechanic where you have to like look for those moments when they like kind of like are damageable to like try and do a bunch of damage to him or something.
Maybe it'd be kind of like a tormentor where you can like kind of damage it a little bit, but then once you get to a certain threshold, then it's like, okay, it's real mad, but also it takes a lot more damage.
Right, for sure.
The stasis subjugator is called an Omen, and the strand subjugator is called the Harbinger.
Great,
excellent. Okay,
which are very good. Yeah,
very
I'm a big
good.
Fan.
Excellent. Yeah,
those are good.
And the stasis Scion guy is an attendant.
That's right. That's
attendant.
what it was.
That one's he's a nerd. Confirmed.
Yeah.
Attendant.
Fucking get his ass, dude.
Fucking nerd.
Absolutely, we're gonna wreck those nerds.
Fucking week one of this, we're just gonna come on this show and be like, I would like to formally apologize to attendance. I wasn't familiar with your game.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna be like more.
I didn't know I needed stasis chest armor mods now, but I do actually. Your crystals do hurt when they blow up, and I'm pretty upset about it.
But yeah, that was kind of the big thing from those two little trailers. You can just see a lot more of their like abilities.
You get some shots of some guns. There's like this gun in the Grim trailer in particular that looks like it's shooting the little darkness pellets, like the orange and black ones that we've seen before. And you don't see it much because I think they switched to a different gun later. But like, I don't know. Watch the first few seconds of that Grim trailer, and it's like not from the POV of the hunter that's shooting.
Yeah, because I was gonna say the POV of the Grim you can mostly see like when the hunter's shooting is like the strand. The strand,
like a 2-shot, right?
Yeah, it's like a tube. Well, that's the hand cannon. That is like I think that's the stasis hand cannon. It's a 2 burst.
Yeah,
I see. Like the gun. This is like the first person
hunter view. Yeah, I might have been
view.
getting it confused with the Grim little pew pew bullets.
Yeah, because that's like because we've seen that. Yeah, that hand cannon's like the the one we've seen in a lot of other stuff, but we haven't really seen it.
Warden's Law or whatever.
Fire
like
much,
that one. Yeah.
fire much, but yeah, it's like I guess I don't think those are aggressive. I don't forget what they're called, but yeah, it's like the 2 burst hand cannons,
It's like the heavy burst or something.
Yeah, heavy burst, maybe.
That sounds right.
There's like a fusion rifle we see.
Yeah, and then you see like but yeah, that's like the main ones. Yeah, like the fusion rifle you see in some of the Subjugator trailers. And then the last one they had was the Husk trailer, which we still didn't really get to see. Like, I couldn't really tell from this footage if they were like they showed the correct way to like take one down. The only thing I noticed is that you do see like a hunter use their arc melee, and it does like the arc melee disintegration, and that seemed like that didn't cause a thing to like come out of them to like attack. But you see like them just like shotgunning them in the face, and they still just kind of burst into that for some of them. So it's just I still don't really know if they're what would you do
with like no like insight or knowledge or like entirely just guessing just based on how things go. I feel like it's just going to be as simple as like a precision or elemental kill.
Yeah.
Because like I would imagine the like it's going to be like similar to like a goblin where it's like well you just shoot it in the chest and then it fucking explodes because you're taking out the worm with it.
Yeah, because you don't need to worry about it.
Again, could be wrong. Maybe they're just like, no, if you use a kinetic weapon, you're just kind of boned.
I think feel wise, it's going to be closer to like the Ravagers in the Scorn faction. Like,
sure.
I think it could be smaller of a point than we're thinking, and it should cause like some kind of explosion when it is done right.
Yeah,
yeah,
and also
that would be
like,
cool. Yeah,
I think it'll just be tougher to hit because they seem to be a lot like faster.
Yeah, they definitely
like a goblin. Like goblins,
are
they
running
just
up on you,
kind of slowly just stumble towards you, right?
Yeah, these dudes like run up on you, and you can see in this trailer there's like 3 of them at once. Like I don't think you can really be like, oh shit, let me line up this precision shot while these 3 dudes are just going to come. They're trying to just stab me.
You're pretty much just going to be like, all right, whatever I have, if I get a crit, thank God.
Yeah, pretty much. So that'd be interesting. Maybe it's just like it could be like a precision thing, or if it's just like a big enough kind of fuck you attack. It doesn't really matter. It just kind of obliterates some kind of thing potentially too.
I'm sorry to derail real quick. On the Husk trailer specifically, because we're talking about it. The top comment from the Hungry Waffle Inc. 7775 is the Husk sold me fentanyl behind this tree of silver wings.
The Husk. The Husk is
that sounds like some Husk behavior.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
Just by the way,
absolutely has some. Yeah. They have some deals. They definitely have some shady deals in the back kind of vibe. Let's go meet him at the Tree of Silver Wings in the Pale Heart Baby, if you know what I mean.
Look, I mean, I ain't a nerd.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
That's really funny. But all right, but yeah, those are your trailers that we got this week. I'm sure we will get some more stuff. One last thing I had, which you both in the Discord chat, I don't know if you saw the image I posted in there. So I went because I was, I just looked through Bungie Press for images to use for thumbnails for this podcast on youtube.com/rational, or goddammit, youtube.com/Helm the Tower.
You got it.
Plug.
You got there.
But yeah, there's an image in there that you can see of 3 guard. They're kind of like a 3 guardian lineup, and I'll put this in the video version for people to see. But you can see the actual like render of that traveler beam like exotic that they essentially teased.
Yeah.
You can see like
you're so right.
The Titan, like the Titan in the back. Because remember, like in the very original Final Shape reveal, they were talking about exotics, and they showed like a concept art of that, like they were talking about the traveler beam trace
almost
rifle or whatever,
like a terraform beam type thing.
Yeah. And they showed this concept art, and now you can see like the 3D render of that. And it's cool because like you can see in the concept art, but if you look close enough, it's like this weird like triangular, like it's like split like into like the 3-pronged like shooting out kind of looking trace rifle. So it just looks really cool.
It does.
I hope it like makes flowers like explode off of dudes.
The flowers like blow up into light or whatever.
What kind of damage type that's gonna do?
Yeah, good question.
I would bet it's gonna be like a match the super that you have equipped on prismatic type deal.
I could see that.
True.
Yeah.
That feels right.
Yeah. Or just like if you're not using it on prismatic, then maybe it's a just match. Maybe it's just always like damage type matches your super, but maybe
Or
it's
it's
like
like-
the kinetic slot or something.
Yeah.
You know, it could be something where it's like arc, solar, and void at the same time. You know, like it could
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
I was
Like
hoping for
prismatic
something wild
isn't
like
like
that.
a damage type.
I could see it being like, since it's supposed to be like a traveler adjacent light thing, I could see it being like it. If you're using it on a light class, you can choose like essentially what light class it is or whatever, and then
if you're using a darkness class, it doesn't work.
it doesn't work. It just turns off and just
It actually just
explodes in your,
vaults itself. It's crazy.
just explodes in your
Sunsets
hands.
itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm very curious, if it's how that's going to work. Like, I'm wondering if it's going to be like an Aegis scepter sort of deal where like it'll like it'll like maybe it'll like you'll like use your super meter or like super energy, or maybe you use like transcendence like energy to like make that giant beam or whatever to like do stuff with. That could be really interesting how the hell that works.
Maybe they're just like, fuck it, we just made Traveler's Chosen a fucking trace rifle. You know,
Yo,
wild
don't
too.
get
That'd
me
be
so
wild.
excited out
actually.
here.
That'd be kind of insane, actually.
Yeah, that would be very strong. But yeah, that was just like, I just was like scrolling through all the promo kind of screenshots they put on the Bungie press site, and I saw it. I was like, oh, okay, there's that thing. So that was a fun little detail. Yeah. But yeah, let's get it. I'm gonna hop into the TWAB here now because we got the TWAB with lots of info.
Yeah.
About power progression and some other stuff.
I brought this up last week, and I feel like they must have listened.
Yeah, they know.
We needed
They know.
answers.
They were like,
thank you,
we
Bungie,
need
for listening to our show.
We need to answer them right now by putting this in the TWAB. That's exactly what happened.
Absolutely.
Canonical, for sure. But yeah, they basically they tell us how power progression, the general getting power, making the number go big, the Destiny term, how that's going to work now going forward in the final shape, and also kind of detailing more about fire team power and the best thing one of the best quality of life things they've arguably ever done is account wide power as well.
Yeah,
which I am very excited about.
Huge.
It's pretty huge.
Honestly.
I've again, as a 3-player sicko, and just like, the identity of like that day one raid chasing power grind is like they literally are just removing that more or less as we knew it for like so many years, and that's like very cool. And it may like this stuff is like good information coming off of like, oh yeah, we're getting the final shape raid in like 3 days after the launch, and they like now they're telling us this information of like, oh, okay, yeah, they made a lot
now
of.
If you finish legendary campaign, you are probably
You'll
just
be fine.
set on any 3 characters, which is great.
Yeah, exactly. So let me go over this details here. They go. So the first thing they kind of go over is fire team power. Again, which we talked about a little bit last week, and we're like, how is this going to work exactly? What is this? What is like? Or is it going to be across everything, or like how's it going to work? They explain it, and then they get more details here. So in the final shape, playing with friends will be easier than ever, no matter if you play every day, haven't played in years, or are trying Destiny 2 for the first time. The players with the highest power level in a fire team will become the power leader, and all other players in the fire team will be brought up to 5 power below the power leader. I love to be the power leader. If their power isn't already higher. Fire team power only affects activity difficulty, and your unadjusted power level will still determine the power of your rewards. So there you go. That's like still like a very good reason to still to still level.
It's not like
so like there still is
power leveling or anything.
Yeah,
like,
but you don't have to sit out on raid night,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can still come to the raid, but you're going to get the loot drops you're going to get. It says that being a power leader will also give you a boost to any commendations earned at the end of the activity. So increased activities. And they show some screenshots. So they show like a Guardian player in a Nightfall like menu. And it says your power is 1950 and the now expert Nightfall level is 2005. And then they have and then they show like how it worked, where if you have a player with 2000 power, and they are joined by 2 1950 Power Guardians, the adjusted power is 1995 for everybody, I believe.
Great
and
year.
then expert is again. So again, it takes you like, it basically puts everybody, or I think it puts the players you're with at 19. It will put your two players under your power level to 1995. But I'm guessing that power leader would still be 2000. Yeah. I think that's how it works. Exactly.
Yeah, I think it said it like pulls him basically like 5 under the power leader's power, which I think is like honestly a good call.
Yeah, I think that's like a fair,
totally.
a fair thing, because I think like having at least like some things, not like, it does not have to be a hardcore grind to power, but having like some reasoning to do it where it's like, oh yeah, I guess, and they go over it in this more of like, oh yeah, like we're kind of going back a little bit to how some things were before, I think Lightfall, where like you're going to be able to like kind of over level stuff again to an extent, which you weren't really able to do before, but now they're kind of with these changes, it seems like you'll be able to like over level certain things that are power enabled, as they're calling it. So I'll keep going into that. Here's the big juicy one. This is definitely the thing everybody's been talking about. Removing power limits from legacy gear. Yep.
I can't believe this actually is happening.
They're sunsetting again. So the sun is set, but now the sun is rising. Because the sun is setting again because they sunset again.
Yes.
I made a full rotation.
I like the term sunrising. I really do. I think it's very good and like cheeky and clever, but also unsetting is so good. Yeah, and that's what I've been calling it. Unsetting. It's the great unsetting. And I think that's very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if people just want to adopt that one really quick and then make me feel great about it, that's awesome. Okay,
let me do it again. So they're going to unset the sun setting. So there won't any be sunsetting because it's unset from because they're removing sunsetting and it's unsetted. So you don't know. So you no longer have to worry about sunsetting.
And I'm unsettled.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, this rules.
Yeah.
And I also think that a lot of people are also coming to the same conclusion right now, which is like there's that like momentary bummer of just like, fuck, I've gone through and since deleted like a bunch of stuff that has been, faulted and didn't really hang on to it because I'm just like, well, I'm never going to use it again. But at the same time, all of that stuff has just been so fucking power crept that it doesn't matter unless there's like sentimental value. And I think that a lot of the people who had like incredible sentimental value on some of those weapons just kept them for that reason.
Yeah, 100%. There's definitely some people, because I've seen definitely some people talking about it being like the crazy man in the corner, like I was right. Look at all these things I had in my vault. Yes. I'm gonna be a god. And then you're just like, I don't know about this, man. I don't know.
It's like, cool. Origin traits literally exist, my guy.
And I think some of that is also like go watch, Asdacross put out a video that was him, like he made a tweet of being like, show me the stuff you have in your vault that is, and that was eye-opening more than anything for this whole debacle of people being so unset for years, where like he's scrolling through these tweets and being like, he's finding people like sharing screenshots of like year 1 Destiny 2 guns that had static rolls with like single perks, and they're like, I kept it. Yeah.
It's like, okay, you can also just get those from collections, dude.
Yes. A lot of those you can get from collections, and they only have a single perk on them because that's how they worked in Destiny 2 year 1, where they were all like static rolls. And now that everything's random rolled, they have multi perks, origin perks, perks that build into the build crafting of how the new subclasses work that have happened. So it's just like
abilities were a lot less important back then, I feel like.
Yeah. And I think like that's going to be I really hope to see some moments like that of people just being like, I'm going to pull out all these OP guns I had from 2017, and I'm gonna show these guys. I'm gonna show them what's what, and they're just gonna get their fucking asses kicked because like these guns are like just like not up to the standard of.
There are definitely some things that I like do wish that I kept. but also
Same.
I don't miss them is the thing. Like I haven't really thought about them since this got announced. And I'm like, oh yeah, I did have that, didn't I? But I got rid of it because I don't really use it. Like like everything that I was using back in the day was either like extremely suboptimal because I was like still learning the game, or I have just found things that are better that actually like fill that niche and more, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But like, I think it was a smart decision. I think it's a fun decision, honestly. Like I'm probably going to go through collections and just like pull what I can and just kind of fuck around with some old guns. That sounds super fun.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, like if you fucking can, you might as well, right? Like the only sunset weapon that I actually have is something that I got after sunsetting started, which was back whenever like Nightfalls gave out like individual specific weapons based on the Nightfall.
Yeah.
It was like the Corrupted hadn't been in the Nightfall rotation for a while, and whenever they brought it back, I didn't have Horror's Least, and so I completed it, and it gave me a 0 power Horror's Least.
Yeah.
And so I have that, and I keep it, and I have 1 kill on it, and that 1 kill took me 20 minutes. Because that's something fun that I learned, is that each bullet, if it's not hard-coded to be immune, will at least do 1 damage.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But that Scion took 20 minutes to kill.
Hell yeah, he did. Yeah, I mean, like, I deleted my sentimental recluse because I didn't think I would ever be able to use it again. It had 10,000 kills and whatever. Yeah. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I am happy to report I will be using Ghost Primus for our entirety of our day 1 stream.
Great.
Look forward to me struggling through the entire campaign.
So happy for you.
No, but yeah, it really doesn't matter. The sentiment that everyone has that, like, listen, y'all, you have a better auto rifle than Ghost Primus. I hate to break it to you. I'm upset about it too.
On top of also not to break it to you, of like they literally straight up said, and I feel like this is
this got glossed over.
This is like a pretty obvious. I feel like it's a pretty obvious thing because if you look at the track record of things, how many sets of weapons have they brought back since sunsetting has happened as like new updated weapons? And they straight up said in here of like, we're going to be giving us updated sources to match the standard of the current Destiny sandbox, and all these weapons are coming back. So like, hey, we're probably going to get like, if you had a bunch of those Dawn weapons, I know like a lot of people like we're talking about Season of Dawn weapons, and like that we'll probably get more of those. We'll probably get we'll probably get the
there's no way we
Black
don't
Armory
get the Black Armory weapons.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure.
We're like Leviathan weapons. Like, come on, like, there's still very much a strong chance we get like Leviathan back as a proper raid in the game that they kind of update for the modern sandbox, and we have
that'd be cool. Yeah.
And they put all those weapons back in there with updated perk pools and stuff like that. Like, there's still a lot of this can happen. So like, I think, even if you lost these weapons and can't like play with the one you got that was really good, like, you've gotten plenty of hand cannons since you've gotten that one that are just as good, if not much better. And they are going to give you back that gun you like, to go get. And it's going to be an even better version of what that thing was when you got it years ago. So
that being
it'll be
said,
okay.
I feel like anybody that has a kindled orchid with Kill Clip Rampage, that's still going to go fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So if you have one
PvP.
of those, genuine congratulations. So
yeah, they're going to, I'm definitely curious how it's going to, some stuff is going to be going into PvP with that. Like that's going to be that's going to be crazy potentially, but like, hey, I don't give a fuck about that.
I know a lot of people who are just like, I don't give a shit if the gun's good, but like, I'm happy that I can just take like my favorite like Black Armory weapons that weren't in Onslaught, into the Final Shape stuff. Not because they're better, but because goddamn those guns just feel so good to use. And like it's rad that they're just like, hey, this like thematically doesn't make sense with or not thematically, but like logistically doesn't make a lot of sense if we're like raising the power for anything. Like, fuck it, use these guns. Who gives a shit, right?
Yeah.
It's this, and like there is an experience that I think like the three of us don't really think about, right? Like someone who played maybe through Forsaken that wants to come back to the game, and they come back and they open their vault and it's all gray, and basically they're told like, all that shit that you grinded for, I know you're back in Destiny now, but all that's worthless, so go get all new stuff.
Right.
Like, it really does suck to kind of be told that armor, whatever, and like obviously armor is, from that era is still going to be useless because it doesn't have the mod slots or anything, but like being able to at least look at your guns and be like, oh, like I have to level these up, but like I can use my black armory guns or my red war guns just so I have legendary guns and I don't have to go blue myself up to
pull out that Go figure from Forsaken.
Yeah, I have known people that have had that experience where they open the vault and it's all gray, and it's like basically the game telling you, hey, like all that stuff you did all that time with is fucking worthless now. That is like a turn the game off type vibe. I think it can be for certain people.
Totally.
So I think this is good for them too.
Yeah, and it's nice that they don't even have to like really put like too much effort into it, because if they're just like hopping in because they want to play the campaign, like that shit starts at the power floor anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Great. You can just kind of pull out a bunch of shit and just go.
Yeah, just have a good time. Like the normal campaign's never meant to be hard. It's just like just fucking play this thing and have a good time. That's great.
Yeah, just see the story, do a lot of stuff. So let's see. We pretty much went over everything, but I'll just read some of their words here. You might have noticed as you read about Fireteam Power that the adjusted powers shared by the power leader would sidestep the caps on old power limited items, making it possible to ignore them. After thoroughly considering the problem space, we came to the decision to remove power limits from all items starting in the final shape. Always being able to play with your friends was a huge goal for us. As we close out the Light and Darkness saga, we want to rally all Guardians, active, returning, and new, to help fight the Witness. There's no better way to play Destiny than with your fire team. As we pursued this goal, it became apparent that the power limits were fundamentally incompatible with fire team power. And then again, we understand that the many old power limited items have been dismantled at this point, and we regret that we have no recovery mechanism for these going forward. We intend to reintroduce sources to most of or all of these updated to modern Destiny sandbox standards with added properties such as origin traits and build crafting perks, as we started to do with the Brave Arsenal and Destiny 2 Into Light. Yeah, I mean, make a Brave set 2 and put that in Onslaught with some new Onslaught stuff.
That'd be great.
Obviously that, but obviously, like, they can just bring them with episodes too. I'm sure they'll do that, like they've done with many seasons, right? Like we got Undying weapons with this season for Season of the Wish. Yeah. We got what do we get in Wish Season of the Witch? We got
the Gambit Reckoning.
Yeah,
weapons.
The Gambit Reckoning weapons.
That was deep. I think.
That was deep. Yeah,
that was deep. You're right.
I think last season we got,
which was like Vanguard stuff. Guns.
Yeah, it was like
right. Yeah. Vanguard, like Red War stuff, early strike guns. But like obviously they bring back a ton of that stuff. Like going back to Seraph, Season of the Seraph, they brought back the Ikelos stuff and made it craftable. So like bring naturally I think this was going to happen, but obviously now they've just did the other part of just being like, hey, all the old shit you just had, if you kept it, fuck, you can use it, or if you got it and have it in collections and it's gonna be pulled from collections, you can just pull that shit out. And like, there's a lot of like the pinnacle weapons that you can get from the kiosks that like some of them I had messed around with but never really used because they, by the time like I was playing the game and could have gone and got them, they're all getting sunset anyway. So I was just like, man, whatever. Yeah, but I know there's some cool items in there, like you mentioned, that one that's in there. I forget what it was, but there's like a tons of stuff, and they're obviously going to update those. And
the Rampage Kill Cannon.
Yeah, well, I think that was Black Armory, right? It wasn't Kindle Arcade was Black Armory. But there's like, I know
there is some neat stuff in there.
Yeah, like I know like people like 21% Delirium, which is a machine gun, but I think it was. I think, and then there's like the old version of Wendigo before they like put that in strikes.
Yeah, it gets blinding grenades on a heavy, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, so there's still like cool things like you can probably pull out and mess around with, for sure. This is
like illuminating for me too. Of like they said when they gave the kind of layout for how episodes are going to work, like these 6-week chunks, and at each chunk they're adding artifact perks and guns and things like that. It's like, okay, well now I have an idea of like the pool of guns.
It's like, okay,
they can add it back in.
Yeah, here's some Right,
It makes a lot more sense.
Earlier, earlier it's like here's some new shit, and then like later weeks there may be like some new shit. It's like returning shit, popular shit. Yeah.
Here's Hung Jury number 7.
Yay!
Jeez. I'd be okay if they just like, hey, we're sunsetting Hung Jury. Nobody would be like, all right, like that's fine, man.
Darn.
I need a lightweight scout. What the fuck am I gonna do?
No.
Or precision scout, whatever it is.
Fucking who cares? Honestly,
who gives a shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just let that live in the Brave arsenal from here on, and we never think about it anywhere else in the game.
That's fine.
Yep.
Every time I get a Hung Jury drop, even if it's shiny, I'm like, man, fucking, I don't care.
Come on. Yeah, I feel that.
Come on.
But yeah, so next up is another big one for the power grind for Final Shape. They talk about power bands. So we're improving power bands to further lower the barrier to entry. In Final Shape, the soft cap will only require 40 power to reach, down from the usual 150. So they're again, you're only have to jump up 40 power to get to that soft cap and start the power pinnacle grind, whatever. This time around, instead of doing the 150, and obviously, like I'm assuming they're gonna keep that trend. You'd start with seasons where they don't really up it in episodes. I'm assuming they're gonna do that. I guess they don't really say, but I kind of still imagine that's going to be the case. This change should allow new lights enough time to get familiar with the core of Destiny's gear power system before stepping into the broader game without holding them back. You can also easily achieve the soft cap by playing through either difficulty of the Final Shape campaign. If you complete the campaign on Legendary difficulty, you'll be rewarded with an entire gear set at 1960 power, 20 plus over the powerful cap, giving you a great head start towards the being raid ready for contest mode, which is 1965 power.
Yep.
Great year.
So yeah,
Gonna make a lot of those jokes this year.
I don't know if we should call the 60s a great year. I don't know actually. That was back then. It might have been not a great time, but they have this like they have the actual power
the
floors.
civil rights movement, Mike. No, I'm just
fucking get his ass.
Power floor is 1900. Soft cap is 1940. Powerful cap is 1990, and then the hard cap, pinnacle cap, is 2000. We've now hit a clean 2000 going into the Final Shape here, which is cool, I think.
Yeah, nice round number. It is crazy to think of like power level 450 or whatever it was.
It's so interesting looking at old screenshots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like I think Shadowkeep was like 900 or something.
I think so. Yeah,
and it's like, whoa, we've come like twice as far from then. It's so wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of that we've put into this game.
Yeah, we sure have.
Yeah, it's been around since 2017, so a lot of stuff to do. So next up is activity power. So again, this is when they talk about like kind of power enabled activities and power disabled activities and how that stuff works. So here we go. Beginning with the Final Shape, the power level activities will become much easier to understand. We're also making it so players can enjoy Destiny 2 story and free roam content at any level. So if this means if I have to go to Neomuna, it should not be super high level anymore, and that would be perfect. That'd be great.
I don't think that's how that's going to work. But
I think it is the opposite of how you think that is going to work, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I think they wanted like Neomuna to be fixed a little higher.
Yeah. Well,
I hope the Pale Heart's not like that.
That's still pretty lame.
Yeah.
Power disabled activities play the same for everyone, no matter their power level. Anyone at any level can jump right in and experience them to the fullest. As such, increasing your power won't change the difficulty you experience. You can't overlevel the enemies in these activities. Power disabled activities include campaigns, both normal and legendary, seasonal story missions, free roam destinations, crucible, and some legacy content. So yeah, there you go. So seems like
what's interesting here, campaigns are now power disabled.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't need to be infusing while you're grinding through the campaign. It feels like that seems like what they're saying.
Yeah, because it wouldn't matter what level the stuff is.
Yeah, I think that's smart. 'Cause, like I've also seen like some people's like as good as the Witch Queen and as Lightfall. like as like just playing through those experiences, it did feel weird that you still, like, if you weren't playing on legendary, I think for those you essentially just had to like, okay, well, if your power's not up here, then you just have to go do something else for a minute. And I think this is
then come back.
a good way to address that, just making it like, fucking bring whatever you want, who gives a shit, right?
Yeah, just play through it and the stuff will be at the power you're at. So yeah, okay, yeah, that's I'm definitely cool with that as well. But they should still change Neomuna to a normal roaming place, though.
Please, fucking God.
Anyway, power-enabled activities, by comparison, are where you grow stronger by improving your power. These each have an activity power cap or a power level at which you will have achieved maximum effectiveness. We've improved our UI to show you exactly what these activity power caps are, and if you have achieved them. Enemies will have a set feel for how tough they are, even at the cap, but you will notice yourself getting stronger as your power level grows. Power-enabled activities include Vanguard Playlist, Nightfalls, Seasonal Activities, Exotic Mission Rotators, Trials of Osiris, Raid, and Dungeons. So yeah, that was like what I was saying a little earlier. So like, it seems like with power-enabled stuff now, which includes Nightfalls and like Grandmasters and I guess Raids and Dungeons, I don't know if this will include, I guess then maybe they get into it where like stuff when it's like on master and higher, like it seems like they will, if you're a sicko and willing to grind out like artifact levels, I guess you can like kind of over level some of this stuff again, which like you can't do currently in the game, I believe. Like I think it is like you are of this effective power and it brings you down to a certain tier, and like so you're always kind of at that certain difficulty.
It's confusing because they literally, in this paragraph, they say both. They say power level at which you will have achieved maximum effectiveness at the beginning. And then they also say you'll notice yourself getting stronger as your power level grows. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take it as a godsend. You know, they did this whole rework of difficulty where it's like different tiers of how below the power that you're set by force.
Yeah. So I want to actually, let me see if I can track it down, because there was there's a Reddit thread when they do these weekly TWABs, and they actually replied. Destiny 2 team replied and more or less kind of said like, yeah, you can kind of over level GMs now if you get the artifact power up to it. But they had a better like, talk about it.
I'll find it.
Yeah, let me see if, because usually like they're pinned when they happen, but I think they've already moved it. They have an image here that like is kind of an updated, like the Vanguard Ops playlist is kind of hovered over. Now they show like combatant difficulty, and it says activity power cap reached, which is 1945. So it kind of shows that in the screenshot here. So now they show the caps and other things like that here down below as well. It says every power enabled activity falls into one of 5 difficulty tiers or one unique mode. So we have standard, which is 1945, which is Vanguard Ops, seasonal activities, exotic missions, raids, and dungeons. So that'll always kind of be starting at the cap for those will be 1945. And I guess if you're above those, I don't know what it does beyond that. So I guess that's
I wonder if there's like a back end cap where it's like, okay, you can get a little bit over leveled, but not like too much.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So then there's now what was previously hero difficulty is called advanced now in the final shape, which is interesting. They're changing the names. So this will be 1995, great year. Nightfalls will be at the 1995 power for hero, just the hero or advanced difficulty now. I'm gonna have to get used to saying that. Expert, which used to be legend, which is the step up from that, is 2005. That is Nightfalls, Lost Sectors, seasonal activities, and exotic missions. So they're like 10 power above those. And that's like, I guess if you do like legend Star-Crossed or whatever, that's going to be that difficulty tier now. Then it continues the normal names that we have now, which is Master. That's at 2010. Nightfalls, Lost Sectors, Raids, and Dungeons. That'll be at 2010 now. Grandmasters at 2020. Not a great year. Terrible year. Not a great year. Nope. Not a great. No. Terrible year. yeah, that's going to be Nightfalls again, Grandmaster Nightfalls. That'll be at 2020. And then contest mode is going to be 1965. And that's going to be during the raid during the first 28 hours. So that, like, the contest mode is like a slightly different thing there.
Yeah.
So it says here at the end here, it's worth calling out that gameplay tuning in our existing high difficulty content remains unchanged with these updates, and we are continuing to experiment with new activities that evolve in difficulty throughout the run, such as in deep dives, coil, and onslaught. We look forward to continuing to explore ways to make difficult activities engaging and rewarding to conquer, while making your ongoing power climb feel meaningful and important. And then they say artifact bonus power. The way you earn bonus power from the seasonal artifact is staying the same at its core, but we've rebalanced to be a better offer a meaningful and rewarding progression, giving other upcoming changes. While the additional time offered by each episode, we've increased the number of weeks with seasonal challenges, and they will also be receiving a buff to their XP rewards. Given this, we need to make some adjustments to the XP requirements for artifact bonus power levels. Our goal is for the rebalance where that actively engaged players could attain similar artifact levels achieved by the end of an episode, and that artifact power remains a rewarding pursuit throughout. So, they're adding more seasonal challenges, weekly seasonal challenges, and adjusting XP to kind of counteract now that we have an extra month essentially for each episode.
I've got your comment, Mike.
All right, let's hear it.
Yeah.
From the official Destiny 2 team, not teams. This is what took it so long for me to find it on Reddit. It's just team. We wanted to offer some clarification here on how the new power cap will affect the difficulty for Grandmaster Nightfalls. The new power cap isn't intended to increase the difficulty of GMs or increase the power requirements to get to the same difficulty as it is today. Grandmaster Nightfalls will still be exactly as hard as they are now at Pinnacle plus 15. It's just that you can go up to Pinnacle plus 20 and make it a bit easier if you like.
Okay.
TLDR,
so
you can grind an extra 5 artifact levels to get closer to the enemy's level in GMs after the final shape.
Okay. 5, honestly, because I've seen a lot of people kind of throwing a fit about that.
That's not going to make that huge a difference.
5 power is kind of nothing, and also GMs are already kind of the easiest they have ever been.
Yeah,
just because of the state of the sandbox and all of the ability tuning that's done. Right.
Yeah, that fucker in Lightblade is still going to one-shot you.
How powerful we are.
Yeah.
How powerful we are right now. Yeah, for sure.
If you play it intelligently and use your build well, GMs are kind of nothing, to be honest. Yeah. So people just want to be mad.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's fine.
Pretty much. They were like, oh, it's going to be easy now. Everyone's going to be able to do it. It's like, okay, who fucking cares?
Yeah. All right, cool. One of GMs, we'll see how you're fucking still doing there, bud.
Seriously.
I mean, Prismatic is going to change this whole fucking game anyway. So it really is we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know until we know.
Yeah, for sure. Then, again, the big one. I love this. Account-wide power. Titan, Hunter, Warlock. Most of us play primarily just one. But what if it didn't have to be so hard to walk in a different class's shoes, but they crossed out shoes and said Greaves, Strides, or Boots? We're also lowering the barrier to entry to play multiple classes by introducing account-wide power. Starting in the final shape, the gear rewards you earn on any character will drop with a power level relative to the highest power character on your account. Let's fucking go. Yeah. Level up the power of your Hunter. When you switch over to your Titan or Warlock, the gear rewards you earn will be around your Hunter's level. The exact power of rewards will still depend on the source, but the power you earn on one character positively influence rewards you find on other characters. Because cross-character power progression is now intrinsic to the game, power boosts are no longer offered for sale. So they're also getting rid of just skips in general, which is also cool.
Took out a microtransaction.
I know.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah. And then campaign skips will still be available for alternate characters. These changes aim to make switching between characters and classes easier than ever before. So try something new and put on that mark, cloak, or bond for the first time. This is awesome.
Probably won't, but I appreciate
it. You have to ask Cam, is this going to get you to
I mean, so like the only reason that I would ever dip into my hunter or my titan is if I am like really hunting for like an exotic drop from like a raid or something. Like I think the last time I did something with my hunter or titan was I mean, I did a titan run for Crota right after it because we had done contest mode and we were doing a very cathartic clear the Monday after. But before that, I think I ran a raid on my hunter to get Touch of Malice or something. So yeah, I mean, it definitely takes some of the barrier of entry out for me. I'm still not gonna probably play the characters really unless it's a necessity for like a drop or something, but
right,
it's a really 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 smart change for people that like playing multiple characters, you know.
Yeah,
I think it just saves a lot of time, especially with how just fucking fast that turnaround is between launch and raid. That's going to make it a lot easier to, if you get one class raid ready, then just like dump like 10 engrams on another class and then you're basically all set to go, you know.
Yeah,
more than set, I would bet.
Yeah,
totally. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it just blows open the like. I think something that also leads to people getting like really tired of like Destiny grinds and Destiny stuff is doing that. Is doing like that 3-character grind that has been like a proponent to like getting raid ready, and obviously it's going to be different in general this time because of like this stuff. But obviously we only have 3 days between this the campaign and the raid. But like the whole thing was like you play as what you play as, like, you know. So a lot of time, like some people go as hard as to be like, I play as a character, like not even my main character first, and get them highest powers I want, then take all the gear, put on another character,
weapons, move them over,
then do it again to get them to the next echelon, and then get my main character ready. So like that's just not a thing anymore. That should have been. I know, like that, like, you know, it's something that was like not super necessary, of course. But if you're like, you know, somebody who wanted to, or like one of those people who like raid race or get big on that and like want that prize or whatever, like it was a big part of that. And I definitely did some of that too, just because I do play all 3 classes and I enjoy playing all 3 classes. That is the thing that I think has legitimately kept Destiny like so fresh and enjoyable for me for this many years, is being able to just be like, oh, I'm gonna hop on this night, I'm gonna play my Strand Titan, and I'm gonna mess around with my Strand Titan for a night, do a couple things, and then now I can, you know, play a different class of my Titan and still have a good time, but I can also just hop off and now play my Hunter and, you know, do this Strand Hunter build that people have figured out, and now I'm gonna try that out. Oh, this is really cool. This is like a whole new way to play this game, and it enhances Destiny to like just be able to do that. And obviously, you know, that came with a lot of stuff before it, like doing that grind for multiple years to like have my characters at those comfortable power levels, have all the exotics and things, the armor pieces of exotic armor that you would need to like make builds and have that stuff ready for each class. Like that was a big aspect of it too, of course. But the fact that like now that the power grind is you know, like they pretty much completely like, you know, are dramatically reduced it with, you know, now we have a much lighter power cap where we only have to get up 40 power. And if you do it on Legendary, you're already 20 power over that. And that means, you know, we're going to do, me, Ari, you, and Ren are going to do that Legendary campaign day 1. I'm going to have a character 1960, and then I can already just go immediately start, like, being even more leveled on those other characters and, like, not have to worry about grinding or making sure I have a bunch of infusion motherfucking cubes or whatever the fuck those stupid things are that
upgrade modules
that I've hated. That's been like the bane. That's like been the legitimate bane of like enjoying Destiny for so many years, was being like, I need to like make sure I have these all the time, and like or have the glimmer or the other things that are fucking legendary shards or whatever it all this is, to like make sure it funnels into those stupid things. And now like those have never mattered less, and I think it's legitimately made the game better for it, that like this shit doesn't matter anymore, like confusing and power leveling and stuff, like
and you can see how like these ideas kind of interlock as well, of like you do the whatever on one character, switch to the other, You party up with a buddy who doesn't want to switch characters or whatever. They bring you up to power, so you don't have to sit there and infuse a bunch of stuff. You get the drops from whatever activity you get, and those drops are now the same power that your other character was. So now you can just do one set of infusing, and that kind of saves time and resources and all that. So
it's lowering a lot of barriers of entry without like completely nullifying having to actually play the game, which I think is that like sweet spot that I think they've been hunting for years, honestly.
Right. Great across the board. I am super curious to hear from people that have had those barriers to be like, I kind of wanted to try and dabble and play maybe other classes, but now it's just a daunting task because I have to like replay a bunch of stuff and get exotics, but also like do the power grind all over again, and I never really wanted to do that. But now that was like less and less of a thing, so I am legitimately curious like how many people are going to be like, I've started playing I'm playing a hunter now and playing a titan too, and they're playing this, playing that.
Because of this, that was part of like the thing that helped me get over that barrier of like, I'll try out titan and hunter and onslaught this week, like whatever. That idea that like maybe I should get a little more familiar with them because it'll be so much more approachable for me to play as them and other things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. For sure. This is by far like one of the best like changes this game has gotten in a long time. Like I think it is legitimately up there with stuff like infinite primary ammo and like getting loadout, having freaking loadouts in the game. Like those are like huge things that like fundamentally like change how we interact with the game. And like I think a lot of this stuff we're talking about, like power progression stuff, in here,
it's still
is
wild
like
to think
huge.
about that we used to live in a world without infinite primary ammo.
I remember running out of arrows in a fucking Master Lost sector is the worst feeling in the world.
I think I don't remember like when exactly that got implemented.
Season of the Splicer, baby. I'll never forget.
That's right. Yeah, because I remember just having a great time doing, because that was whenever Vault of Glass came back. And just having a great time not having to spend a lot of time out of cover looking for white bricks on the ground. It was great. Big fan.
No more white bricks. You don't need them ever again. I can't wait for this. There's a lot of great stuff. Another thing making the power grind even better, reward power. Finally, we're making some improvements to the power of rewards. For some time now, select activities such as ritual playlist have had a chance to drop a powerful reward with +1 power for players between the soft cap and the powerful cap. In the final shape, we're extending this beyond those select activities to just about every reward source in Destiny 2. This change will help players gradually reach the power cap no matter what activities they choose to play, so you aren't limited to just the weekly available powerful rewards. Additionally, we are improving the power rewards you purchase from vendors and collections. All items purchased from vendors will now drop no lower than 3 below your highest possible power, and items reacquired from collections will be 5 below instead of all the way down on the power floor. Again,
that is going to make raising your power so much easier, especially the vendor stuff, because sometimes you have gotten everything is going so well, but oh my god, you have not seen a leg drop in what feels like decades of time. And so you can just roll up and then just actually make progress on your power level, which is great. But also it was just super annoying that if I wanted to pull like an exotic from collections or something, that I would have to, all right, let me go into my fucking inventory. Because I only ever do that if it's like, well, all right, I'm doing a raid and we don't have a divinity and I accidentally fucking sharded mine or whatever. So like, let me just go into my fucking collections and grab it here, and then let me burn a fucking upgrade module because I have to. Like 5 under in a raid is nothing. Like whatever. Yeah. You're not even really doing damage with divinity. Let's be real here.
Yeah. Totally. So a lot of, again, great
choice.
Great choice. Again, making this power stuff just matter less and less, and making it smoother to do. So Great stuff. And then let's see. They talk about a Pantheon Creator Challenge. Pantheon. So we have actually a lot of stuff coming up this week. So we'll have
Pantheon starts Tuesday.
Literally,
I'm pretty excited. To see what the fuck that is.
Yeah. The day after you're hearing this, we'll have April 30th reset. We'll have Pantheon, the final Iron Banner of the season.
Yep.
We will have the last 2 Brave Arsenal weapons, Midnight Blast Furnace and Luna's Howl. And then we will have also a new Crucible Labs PvP mode called Hardware, which is straight up the thing people go like, why don't we just do Destiny without abilities? They're doing it. Here it is.
Like, all right. Fucking get in there.
Put your money where your motherfucking mouth is.
Go play it and see what you think, because it's going to be in there.
And if you hate it, you asked for this.
Yeah, you asked for it.
This is your fault, actually.
You dummy Dummerson.
Damn, whoa, bro.
Fucking roasted.
Oh my god.
You idiots.
Don't chill. You're so right. You're so fucking right.
Anyway, I hope you all genuinely have a great time, and I hope it's everything you wanted.
Yeah, I'm excited to try it. I have
I'll
no
check
idea
it out.
what to expect.
I probably won't enjoy it because I'm bad at PvP, but I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I just want to know, right?
I feel like with everything else going on, I probably won't. To be honest,
that's fair.
Just because, and I'll just hear what everybody else says about it, and then we go like, people are like, okay, cool, it's good, whatever.
Yeah, I'll check it out just because I would like to know. But as far as if it's good, I will definitely defer to people who actually know what they're talking about.
I have become the de facto PvP correspondent of the podcast, so
PvP
I will.
Correspondent, you're the only one.
I will do it for us.
But I'm super stoked. Definitely had clanmates pinging us about Pantheon, being like, huh, we doing this? And I'm just like,
I am doing a Pantheon run at 7:30 on Tuesday, so we'll see how that goes.
Nice.
Good luck.
I'm probably doing.
Thank you. I don't think the first one's going to be too bad because I think it's like 5 under, which is like kind of nothing.
Yeah,
the later weeks I am concerned, but
it seems like it's going to get. It seems like this first week seems like it won't be too bad. But granted,
what those mechanics are like.
They are kind of like mixing up some stuff. Yeah. So I'll be curious
I am trying
drastic
to decide,
those changes are. I'm
trying to decide if I want to watch people stream it at all on Tuesday or go in without knowing anything, but also like I don't like this is one of those things that like I don't particularly care about like the sanctity of my first run on it. I just want that title, you know? Like I'm just happy to just kind of get that done since it's like fights that are not like if they were like bringing fights back from like older raids that was like people were like really kind of like hoping for, then I probably wouldn't have checked them out if they were like, all right, do the final boss from Scourge of the Past, right? But since it's like stuff that is already currently in the game, I might just like take a look and be like, oh, that's different. That's cool. And then just like, I think a lot of the challenge for that isn't going to be figuring out the new mechanic. I think it's going to be, clearing multiple bosses in a row at fucking contest power. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like, my clan was already like, I probably was going to do it till the weekend after anyway. So like, more than likely we'll just see stuff regardless, or they will, will just post stuff in the Discord. So it's just like, what?
I think it's going to be like pretty tough to avoid.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's no like, I don't think people have like as much of a, like kind of protective aura around sharing information about stuff that is just essentially like slight tweaks to stuff that's in the game, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, same. Like
people will still use like spoiler tags for like infographics on the new raid for like probably a month or two. So like I think that's great. That's fine.
Yeah, totally. And I'm really just here for the emblems. I know there's emblems.
Those emblems are tight.
Yeah, they look sick as hell. So at least I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get all of them because I know, like you said, those later weeks are supposed to be increasing in difficulty up to contest like mode type stuff. So I don't know if I'll be able to. My clan will be able to hang with that. But I think we could at least maybe do like next week's and maybe the week after
feels doable, right?
Yeah, week 1. I think we
probably. I think they said
2.
like starting with 4.
Right.
Going up to 8 the last week. So like 4 at -5, that's super doable. Yeah.
Same. I think so too. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I want to go get the the last of the Brave stuff. I still want to grind a couple things there, and I think next week you should be able to get the title for Brave. I think
starting on Tuesday.
those last
Super Black.
The weapons.
Oh right,
Yep.
super
Black.
super black shader as well. Yeah, good point.
So you can all have very boring fashion choices.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I respect
really
your right
boring.
to choose it. I just don't accept it. It's
Yeah.
If
fine.
I'm wearing a black lipstick
Banned
next
from-
week, y'all know what the vibe is.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank
Truly,
you, thank you.
I'm so happy.
But also,
you
you're
will
banned.
not see me using all super black on everything. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, for sure.
Not everything.
I don't
just
know if
some
I'll
things.
I don't know if I'll indulge in it either, but I'll get it
Yeah.
just as the
If
collection.
I need if I am like I need black for this like outfit to come together, and I am like, well,
sure.
I don't want to hunt down through like 50 different shaders to see which one is just black.
Yeah.
That one has it in the name. That's good. That's
That's
fine.
easy
It's gonna
enough,
be
right.
it's black Claws of Ahamkara until the day I die.
That's going to be
That's all
great. I'm so happy for you. I'm just
Yeah.
kind of a hater. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
it happens.
Destiny's full of them.
I'm definitely
Of course.
having that moment too of thinking about like, oh yeah, I need to get my. I mean, when I make my builds, I make like drip and looks around them
Oh, yeah.
and the subclasses around them. So now I need to
Mhm.
need to start making some prism.
Gotta look good for those cutscenes.
Need to start looking up some prismatic drip. Granted, like the tough thing with those is going to be the thing where it's like I think I can make a base one, but I know that there's going to be those special exotics that work with just prismatic to get the
Totally.
two things.
So
So
they're
like,
class items, so it's easy to like have an accent.
yeah. So yeah,
You know?
I got everything's got to
But
fit.
also,
so I got to.
What if you just don't? What if you aren't using a class item? You fucking. never know.
I would
We
bet
don't know
the
when we
class
get them.
ines are post campaign.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the earliest.
And not to mention, like
yeah.
they have those. They're gonna have double perks, so you're gonna be farming.
you're gonna
for
be getting
the,
a lot of them.
You're gonna be farming for those for a good while too. Trying to figure out however we get those. But that's for Destiny 2 in a month or two from now when we're in it and we're in the
that's
final
later
shape.
Cam's problem.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
That's Thursday
gonna-
night of
not
the
gonna-
raids problem. Honestly,
Yeah. You're like, oh fuck, I don't have this stupid bond. We're ruined.
Yep.
We're ruined.
Yeah, but we have that was this week in Destiny stuff though. I'm sure we're gonna have some more soon. Again they're giving us the
We
build
are
up,
in it now.
the build up the build up trailer we got this week. Usually not too soon after that we start getting like weapon exotic teases and
Oh yeah.
armor stuff. So like
Some,
I'm
ability
assuming
tuning stuff.
I'm assuming we're gonna start getting maybe some trailers for that stuff, showing it off, or whatever else. I'm sure we're
See how
gonna
they're
start seeing.
gonna massacre Well of Radiance. We'll find out.
Yeah, we're gonna have we're gonna have the Well of Radiance eulogy episode pretty soon. Yeah,
Yeah.
this 6-year reign of Well of Radiance is finally coming to an end.
Yeah, I know.
It's finally over. But we'll look forward to that. We're also, whenever we can fit it in, we're gonna do a tier list of all of the seasons because this is
Yes.
we're at the final season of
We
wishes,
are
the
in
final
last one.
the last season. So once we have a couple more things still coming that I would consider. Like I would, even though like they're kind of considering Into Light its own little mini thing, but I would still kind of enrope it in Season of the Wish. I guess. I guess I don't know. We'll figure
We'll
it
have
out
to
as we
decide
go.
because we got the 30th anniversary. We'll have to figure out how we want to treat that. If we treat
Yeah.
that the same or different, because that was $30. This is not.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we'll figure that out. But yeah, we have like other stuff too, like the PvP map pack and the other
Yeah,
and the
2 weeks
0
till
hour
outbreak
and
So,
0 hour.
Very
yeah,
excited about that.
Yeah, same. It's gonna be good. So once that stuff drops, we'll do that too and talk about whatever else is coming in the world of Destiny and Final Shape. So we'll see y'all then. That's gonna do it for this episode. See ya next time. Bye.
Bye. We love you.